Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of GhettoRig podcast, episode 222. Them numbers lined up. 222. Yay! We made it, guys. It's 222. Next stop will be 333. That'll be the lucky number. Hopefully by then we'll have like million subscribers and be making, what was the saying? Hand over fist money? Is that how they say it? Something like that. Anyway.
I'm not following that.
Yeah, anyway. So yeah, guys, my name is Jay, as you all know. To my right, my co-host Eddie, and behind the camera we got Miggy. Let me sit up straight like normal people would always do. But shout out to our sponsors, Gyms Largo and St. Pinellas Park, UFC Gyms Largo, St. Pinellas Park, and St. Petersburg, and Vitality.
All the gyms in Largo area.
Yeah. And UFC and Vitality 1 and 2. Besides that, guys, quick announcement here, and we'll just dive right into the subjects and topics. Quick announcement. Today is going to be the last episode for this week. I don't think Boy's going to jump on an episode. I will be out of the country for Thursday, so we don't have a GhettoRig episode. So catch us next week, same time on Tuesday. We are usually fashionably late, so if you do start at 9, enjoy the nice music. Sometimes we have it, sometimes we don't. It just depends. But yeah, with that being said, let's dive into the topics for today. Fast foods. But before we go there, y'all heard about the Trump's tariffs and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, I saw something about he will be increasing another 50%
Yeah.
by tomorrow. I think is what
Yeah,
it
it's
said.
actually by tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow is the D-Day, right? So apparently what has happened, I don't know the exact details. I didn't dive into it, but many countries pretty much came out and said, you know what, we'll play ball. We're gonna like reduce our tariffs. So it's like,
you know what this sounds like? It sounds like the Boston Tea Party, but instead with jets
yeah,
and iPhones.
yeah, that's basically you're right about that. Yeah, because like for example, like India will charge 100% tariff on Harley Davidson bikes. Well, let's talk about what tariffs are to begin with, right? The reason we have tariffs in place is because the goods and services of other countries. So that's how countries protect themselves, by selling their own goods and services. So if you put a tariff on a good that's coming into your country, which makes your own product cheaper, your people will buy that product versus buying the goods and services. For example, Harley Davidson. And we all know Harley Davidson are very renowned bikes, and it's a status symbol. Not only that, they're very reliable bikes, right? So basically India is saying, instead of, you buying the good shit, buy the shitty shit that we produce and get it from China or whatever. Anyway, long story short, so India pretty much said they're going to play ball. Canada came out and said they're going to play ball as well. There's a little tiny mismatch of things, though. The reason a lot of countries don't like our exports, and that's predominantly the food exports, because we export a lot of crops, a lot of pork, a lot of chicken, a lot of meat, a lot of eggs and milk, right? Is because of our way of doing things. Meaning, our products are not as clean, and they don't really pass their quote unquote FDA regulations, right? But their own country regulations.
Yeah, it's not FDA, it's whatever their organization.
Yeah, we still have tariffs on these products, because we can provide the products for much cheaper than they're producing, because their products are much cleaner, so it costs more to do it, right?
Always, yeah.
So there's can you blame them? You know what I mean? Can you blame somebody for not wanting shitty ass fucking milk and shitty ass eggs and shitty ass chicken? You can't. But
the whole idea of like around all of our food.
There's an echo.
Echo. It should have been fixed.
Okay, guys, let us know if there's still an echo.
Our food is just so riddled with shit here.
It's pretty bad. Did you see? So New York Post. This is from New York Post. I don't know if you'll be able to find it. New York Post pretty much came out and said, whatever RFK Jr. is saying is a complete lie, and Canadian Fruit Loops are not that much different from our Fruit Loops. And then it's listing the ingredients. Mm-hmm. It's all the same. And then it gets to the bottom part. They're like, Canadians will use like red from beets to color the red color, orange from like the orange, and for carrots or whatever. Ours, red blue, like
Yeah,
the fucking
the actual
yeah, but
chemicals.
it's the same exact thing. But then within the same article, they're saying it's the same exact, but they're saying that it's not the same exact, and saying that he's lying. You know,
Yeah.
it's just like it's kind of weird. You know,
I mean,
but-
something even as simple like I remember when since I was a kid, my dad always grabbing the glass cokes.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh, I want the real sugar. What do you mean real sugar? It's like the shit they put in the Coke here,
Yeah.
they bottle here in the plastic bottles. It's like a synthetic
Corn syrup.
sugar.
It's a high fructose corn syrup.
That and the actual like sugar that they put in too is just shit.
Well, the reason why high fructose corn syrup is so because corn, just like sugar, is a commodity, right? Which means it trades on an international market in what's called bushels, right? And you can pull this up, maybe like bushel. What's the bushel versus kilogram, or that's probably the best way to go about it. So basically, it trades in bushels. And funny story about bushels. So someone from a company I worked with before put a order for like X amount of bushels of wheat, and they forgot to sell the order, so they actually delivered bushels of wheat to the fucking company's doors. Yeah, because it's like an actual product, right? So there you go. A bushel is 27.22 kilograms, which amounts to, I want to say about 19. No, it amounts about what 27.22. So about
40 pounds.
about 65 pounds.
No, about
Or-
40
about
pounds.
70 pounds. 70 pounds.
No, I don't think that much.
Oh no. Yeah, it's no, it's less. I'm sorry, about 50. No,
oh,
about
no, it
60
says it
pounds.
there. It says it there. A
about 60
bushel of
pounds.
wheat in the United States is defined about 60
pounds. There you
Okay.
go.
Yeah.
60 pounds. So there you go. There you have it, guys. So anyway, long story short, yes. So high fructose corn syrup, it's much faster to produce because it's made from corn, and it's much sweeter, and you can put less of it versus sugar. If you ever
More
watch
cost
how,
effective.
yeah,
simple.
if you ever watch how sugar is produced and how it's bleached, bro, it's a fucking process, and those drums are disgusting. Yeah, and a big producer of sugar actually is Dominican Republic. Caribbean countries are huge producers of sugar, and sugar cartel.
Well, yeah, sugar, tobacco.
Yeah,
these
sugar
are always
cartel
coming
is
from the
big,
Caribbean.
bro. Like anybody that's in a sugar, they'll basically sell sugar, and then they bankrupt the company, and then they basically stop paying the taxes. That's how they make money, by not paying taxes. That's where the profit comes from.
You know, speaking of companies, I saw you seen the soda. I'm sure you're getting the advertisements too. Starry, it's that
No.
lemon and
Can
lime
you pull it
soda.
up?
So you ever heard of? I think is it Mellow Yellow, or it was one of those.
Yeah, Mellow Yellow, I've heard.
Yeah. So look up what
Yeah, I've
was
seen this soda.
Sierra Mist.
Yeah.
So Starry was Sierra Mist. Apparently, this TikTok person was also had the name Sierra Mist, got some fame, and got a cease and desist from Sierra Mist. This TikTok person went and looked into the copyright for the name or the patent, whatever it's called,
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
for the name,
copyright. Mm-hmm.
and saw that Sierra Mist hadn't renewed their thing in years and bought it. And then they came. Sierra Mist was like, basically, she sent back a cease and desist saying, "I actually own this shit now, and now you need to stop using this name." And that's why they're Starry now.
Oh shit!
I keep getting advertisements for their soda. I don't know why. I mean, I
they're
barely
trying
even
to
drink
probably
soda,
blast it through.
but yeah, I think they want people to recognize it as like because people recognize Sierra Mist, but they don't recognize
I
this
did not know
shit.
that.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Because Starry, if you look at it, Sierra Mist is kind of known, but Starry looks like an off-brand. You know, like some
Yes.
shit you get in Aldi's.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Something
What's the
random.
process like? Do they like same recipe but just a tad bit less of sugar?
No.
no,
This
they can still
recipe's probably
the
same.
recipe is the same, right? But it's the name that they had to change. They can no longer use the name Sierra Mist, and it's funny because they attempted to buy it from the girl, and she said, "Fuck you."
Yeah, I mean, she could have quickly made several $1 million.
Yes,
like
and
she
she
could have
decided to
quickly made
say,
several
"Fuck
$1 million.
you." I think she should have sold it. I mean, I would have probably sold it. I mean,
I wouldn't be.
you're not gonna sell it now. They've already moved on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what was it? Can you look up how much the potential offer was to buy it out?
How much did Sierra Mist offer?
How much did Sierra Mist offer for the name? I mean, if it was in millions, that girl is a fucking idiot. She'll never make that kind of money in her lifetime doing her TikTok shit.
I wonder how much she had to pay for it. How do they like value that stuff?
They don't. You just file the patent. You just file everything, whatever the filing fees are, whatever you pay to the lawyer to get it all done. Now, if I was that lawyer that was doing it, bruh.
They did not offer.
Oh, I thought they did.
Okay. So, PepsiCo dropped the ball on this one. Well, you know, if
Damn,
they...
so this was Pepsi directly. Shit.
Yeah, they could have offered $50 million, $100 million. That wouldn't have been any shit to them. You know, they probably...
At the same
what
time,
are the
how
Sierra
much...
Mist sales?
Exactly. How much do they sell? Is it worth to really even, you know...
I mean, yeah, bro. To keep in the name? Now, you know how many years that's going to take?
This other thing, other than the not AI thing, says 10 million.
10 million. She could have easily gotten 20, 30 million dollars, bro. Walk away. You'll never make that kind of money in your lifetime. Ever.
Yeah.
Ever. Ever. No one gives a shit about your TikTok fame.
That's crazy.
Oh, so she actually, you know, look up there, go up, Miggy. You can see it says there. So at the bottom it says, and used it to go after PepsiCo for infringement after she bought the rights to the copyright. So she probably thought she could get some more money out of, like, basically like reversing, throwing the Uno reverse card and saying, now I own it, and I'm gonna get you guys for infringement for using it for all this time I've owned it and all the products.
How
you
much
have
they
out.
make in? What are the Sierra Mist sales a year?
Sierra Mist sales. Reason why I will not
Sell Sierra Mist.
hold on.
Name.
Saving up is a lot better, anyways. You know, every lemon lime soda and DR is 7-Up.
They came after me first. And I don't even know why they would come after me. Like, as you can see, our names aren't even spelled the same, but yeah, whatever. I also just think that it's really funny. People are hating on me, but like literally anybody could do this to a corporation whose copyrights expire. Another reason is that I'm pregnant, and having to go through the stress when I'm pregnant of all of this happening has been kind of chaotic. And now owning the rights to a super successful like soda name that's still popular in the soda industry, I'm thinking, well, I kind of want to take that opportunity and throw it back in their face. If anything, I could probably just make my own soda now and call it a day. To me, the entire process was kind of traumatizing, and the fact that they just want to buy it back from me now like it was nothing to them kind of says a lot more about them than it does me. And I just take pride in the fact that I'm not going to allow them to still take advantage of this situation. Also, to those asking how much Pepsi was going to pay for the name Sierra Mist back, I can't go over that because, you know, legalities and stuff. But I did give you hints throughout that video that I posted about how many figures it was going to be. And to those who think
Sounds
I'm
like this
doing
girl's
all this
rambling.
for clout, I just think it's really funny because don't you think Pepsi
You guys are
would have
locked
said
in right
something by
now.
now?
It's kind of
if it
crazy how
wasn't
silent
for
it is in here right now.
Bro,
You guys are locked
this
in.
this dumbass doesn't even know how to cut an apple or peel an apple. Like literally, take the fucking money and run. Like, no idea how. Like, she has no clue. Like, these companies invest millions and millions of dollars into advertising to make. Like, how are you gonna make a fucking soda and you think you're gonna make that money? Can you pull up, please, Sierra Mist sales? Total
I tried
sales?
finding. You couldn't find anything.
You
really.
couldn't find anything.
I did see that in 2021 they dropped 20% in sales, but I couldn't find like the actual number of how much money they made from it.
What was it again, Joe?
Sales of Sierra Mist. Yeah, do that.
Well, they were no longer a company. Yeah.
Story. No,
So look in 2022.
2022. PepsiCo's earnings only 2.2%, and its share of the soft drink market was a mere 0.1%, according to Joel. What were the PepsiCo's earnings in 2022? Goes down. Okay. Revenue, net income. There we go. Net income. 1.52. Divide that. 1.52. Divide that by
0.02.
no point zero 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 two. No, remove 10.
You sure?
Yeah.
Oh,
Equals
right. Yeah.
So it's $760 million in 2022.
No, I think it's less than that.
No, it's no, no. Sorry. Do it again. Instead of 0.02, do 1 in front of it. 1.0.
You have to times it by that percentage, no?
Yeah, you have to time it. Yeah. My math's all fucked
Not
up.
divide it, Miggy.
Time it. Not divide it. Not divided. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. My head's all fucked up.
0.0002.
Yeah.
So there you go.
That much of 0.52 billion, so it's like
Yeah, and
300
then if you
grand.
multiply it by 1.52 billion, that's 9 zeros. So you remove 3, that's $304 million. $304 million.
Or 304,000.
$30 million. No.
Or 304,000.
We're still in the millions here. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't
This
matter. So
bitch
that's
makes
just
so
20.
much money.
Yeah, she could have asked for the third of their earnings for that year, which when you usually buy a company, you pay 2 to 3, sometimes up to 5 years worth of earnings.
It's just the name. It's just the name. Not
It's
the
just a
company.
name. Yeah, so she could have asked for the third of it, and she still would have been
Well,
okay.
that's 10 million then.
Yeah, that's 10 million. She could have asked for the whole year's earnings. Like, give me the whole year's earnings. It doesn't matter. If the first year they will take a hit, it's only 0.2% of their earnings. So it would take a hit on that amount of money, but then they continue keeping their name and continue doing their. Or if she was smart about it, she could have said it, I will rent that name to you. I will rent that name, sign a contract for 10 years. Every year I'm getting this much amount of the money from you.
Said, fuck no, would have still probably done the same shit that they did.
Yeah.
Look, that's what I'm saying. They would have tried to phase her out, clearly phase out the name or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, girl also has a OnlyFans. Like, bro, come on, man. Like, why would you do that
I'm
shit
not
to
surprised
yourself?
with a name like Sierra Mist.
Yeah, but...
I mean,
like,
Sierra Mist was so fucking known that I didn't even know about that ordeal that happened until Eddie brought it up.
yeah,
Like, before I wasn't looking for Sierra Mist. Now I'm kind of looking for Starry because it was Sierra Mist.
yeah. So, I don't know, man. Like, at $30 million, it's $30 million. Let me just do the math in my head real quick. Fucking, it's yeah. So six zeros at 304. No, yeah. So that's no, it's a little less than that actually.
All right. So what about
1,
Chick-fil-A
2,
today?
3.
Fast food.
So it's
Miguel's
not.
like, spit it out. Spit it out. Let's go on.
Yeah, it's about $3 million. $30 million.
So,
Yeah, bro. Coca-Cola would say fuck you. Pepsi-Cola said fuck you. Get on with it. You know, she could have taken that money, ran with it. At $10 million, at 5% earnings, she would probably bring it in a cool minimum, what, $500,000 a year, which would have been a lot more than her OnlyFans earnings and her TikTok earnings. She could have continued doing that shit while she's getting $500,000 extra a year.
yeah, she should have taken the money.
She should have
We
fucking
get
taken the
that.
money
We
and
get
gone.
it.
Yeah,
We get
idiot. But I'm not surprised she can't cut an apple. So
So, what's it called? Yeah, you asked about Chick-fil-A, Miggy. So,
yeah. So talking about
Chick-fil-A, you guys would
Fast
think
foods.
of Chick-fil-A to be as like one of the cleaner places, you know, like when it comes to fast food, right? You know, the food is kind of held to the highest
they're
standard
the higher standard, whatever.
when it
Yeah,
comes to
yeah.
fast food, right? It's still a
Yeah.
fast food place at the end of the day. Bro, I've cleaned some Chick-fil-A's and it is some of the dirtiest
Yeah.
shit. You know, I mean, I haven't cleaned like a McDonald's. I can't imagine that, right?
Restaurants
the
in
s-
general,
but
man.
the smell that
Mhm.
comes out of the back of that Chick-fil-A, fucking
That especially like the
insane.
grease that's been there.
I think it's the oil, like gets on the floor and like grabs other dirt and grime and kind of like builds up this really
and then the
nasty,
bacteria
greasy
fucking festers
smell.
on it.
Yeah.
Can you do real quick?
Another thing is because they have drains all around the kitchen, right? And those drains, that shit drains down there and then accumulates
Gonks
and
up there.
smells through
Yeah,
the drain too.
Can you do Can you do a real quick European Chick-fil-A versus American Chick-fil-A chemicals, like whatever breakdown?
And the crazy part, it doesn't look very dirty.
No.
But it smells horrible. It
Mhm.
smells horrendous.
Yeah, the days that we needed to clean what's called the
Grease trap?
grease, not the grease trap. So where it pulls the air out.
Okay. The vents.
Those things, man, we had to cover everything that because they come in with these harsh ass fucking chemicals, literally spray, and the shit that could fall off of it just black. Just a simple thing, like at the end of the night, you know what's a flat top, right? Flat top is basically this gigantic cooktop.
Okay,
It's
yeah, I
all
know what you're
flat
talking
and metal, and then gas is usually burning underneath, gets that metal hot, and you cook burgers on it. Sometimes you'll throw
about. Yeah,
the whatever you cook on it, right?
yeah, I know
It's
what
it's
you're
like a
talking about.
big pan.
Yeah, you're making me want IHOP right now because I want a fried egg. It sounds good,
Yeah.
right?
So when you clean that at night, there's several ways of doing this, but the way you usually do it is you'll throw some lemon juice first on it, like liquid lemon juice, and that'll bubble up everything, and you clean that, and then you throw water or ice on it. It'll bubble up and clean all that until you get to that metal color clean.
Uh-huh.
But before you get there, the amount of black shit that comes
Comes
off
off.
of that, it's
Yeah.
fucking disgusting. Now imagine all that shit gets stuck there, and they clean it every 3 to 4 to 6 months. So that shit that just drips down, it's the grossest thing you'll ever see.
Yeah, that's one thing I never set out to work in. Food.
Yeah,
I could not do it.
yeah. And so talking about,
I even hate washing dishes because like the food and grime and shit like that. I don't know why it always grossed me out.
yeah, it's just, man, dealing with food. I've gotten to the point that, like, when I first started working in restaurants, I was working as a dishwasher, and I even got a allergy to the harsh chemicals I was using, where they had to prescribe steroids because it was literally spreading on my arm, and I couldn't stop it. It was just a straight up allergy to. I had to put a steroid cream on it to cure it. So
Whenever
it's
I
pretty
use
bad.
harsh chemicals, my hands fucking peel.
Peel, yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
my
It's
fingertips peel and everything. It happens to me fairly often when I'm at work and I kind of just carelessly use a chemical and get it all over myself or whatever. Even like when you use all-purpose cleaners like Pine Sol and Fabuloso and stuff like that, if you get enough of it on your hand consistently, it dries the fuck out of your hands.
Alex said they're
There
Canada.
are no
Okay, can you pull up?
Chick-fil-A's in Europe.
Can you pull a Canada on there? Because Alex said that Canada is the only place. Because Canada will still have better rules. Chick-fil-A in Canada, yeah. Not nutritional facts, like the ingredients, I guess. I think I saw something like that where, you know how Instagram Reels, people will compare and say, well, this one is better, like these are the ingredients, whatever. Go into pictures, see, maybe pictures will pull up something. You know what I mean? Hit the pictures. Yeah, so maybe this will give us something. Yeah, pull that up.
Goddamn, 55 ingredients to make a goddamn chicken sandwich.
Yeah, so there you go.
Boneless chicken fillet,
chicken
salt, monosodium gluten, so
MSG.
MSG.
Sugar, spice, paprika. Okay, chicken coating. This is where the problems start, right?
Bleached white flour, sugar, salt, MSG, milk, baking soda, sodium aluminum phosphate. Why
that
do you why
that cannot be good.
why?
It's to keep the freshness and flavor.
Monocalcium phosphate. Why? Spice, soybean oil.
Color. Oh, that's paprika.
Okay, so they're actually doing it naturally colored. Water, non-fat milk. Why does it have non-fat milk twice? I don't get it. Egg and then fully refined peanut oil.
Say that last word fast 3 times.
I can't even say it slow. What do you mean? Dimethyl dimethylpolysiloxane.
Mm-hmm.
Dimethylpoly.
And
Fuck yeah, you can't say that. Say it twice fast.
yeah, so look, look, this is even.
Dimethylthiopolysilosane. The methylthiopolysilosane.
No, why you're adding extra?
Yeah, but look at
Break
the,
that shit down.
look at
bro.
the bun, bro. Look at the bun. It's just bread, right? Like you would think it's just bread, water and flour, right? Fuck no. Enriched wheat flour, water, sugar, yeast, soybean oil, wheat gluten, salt. Like that's not enough that they're putting flour that's already over glutenated. They're adding wheat gluten on top of it. Salt, cultured wheat flour, vinegar, calcium sulfate, monoglycerides, datum. That cannot be fucking good.
That looks like a computer program. Why are they like?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That looks like
Potassium iodide. This is fucking crazy. Bun oil. They couldn't just do regular oil. So it's soybean oil, palm kernel oil. None of that shit is good. It's soy lectin, natural flavor, beta carotene, pickles, cucumbers, water, vinegar, salt, alum, bruh. Like, and this is the shit we eat, right? Like this is This makes it
Hey, bro,
delicious,
but like,
right?
you know what I mean? Like the ingredient to a single Chick-fil-A could a chicken nugget from McDonald's couldn't fit on that list, though.
No. And I was watching actually Rogan today, and he was talking to this guy, which was a really good episode. If you haven't watched it, this guy actually apparently super rich nerd, like nerdy type of guy that created a bunch of companies and stuff. He's not a biologist, but he's super interested in biology. This motherfucker actually cloned dire wolves. He made 3 dire wolves.
I saw this,
Bro, probably one of the more interesting episodes of Joe Rogan I've ever seen. And then apparently there are these red wolves that are in America, and they're only known for America, right? And he's been able to make red wolves, and because the population is dwindling, there's only 15 of them left, and this guy right here was able. And you know what's the craziest part? These labs are all open source, meaning anyone can come in and try to clone an animal or a plant. They went to the United States, like, you know, whatever conservation, whatever, these people, and they're like, yeah, by the way, we cloned these wolves, you know, blah blah blah, this and that. They're showing videos, and they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna need about 6 years of research and $20 million to make sure we can do this. It's like, bruh, you see the video, you see the wolf, it's a clone wolf, we've done it. Yeah, as we said, we're gonna need 6 years and $20 million. Like, what?
So it's like, it's done. Oh, we got to do it again.
Yeah, we got to do it again just to make sure we did it correctly. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? So this guy is basically talking about, like, they have some DNA of some saber-toothed tigers and, like, dinosaurs and everything. And the biggest issue they're running into is because DNA quickly goes bad. So it's very hard to find good DNA in order to clone. So they were talking about how AI and heavy computing.
This is what happens when nerds that like Game of Thrones get too much money.
Yeah, and then can you pull the pictures of these wolves, like grown wolves? Like these pups were like at 2-3 months they were already 40 pounds. At 8 months they were already 80 pounds.
Shit.
And he's talking about cloning woolly mammoths.
Yeah.
And they're saying this, like the Asian elephants are closest related genetically to woolly mammoths. But before doing that, they're pretty good looking animals, right? Like they're crazy looking animals, like these crazy manes and stuff. And before doing that, they created woolly mice. If you pulled that up,
I heard about that.
Yeah,
I heard about that.
And that shit went fucking berserk. Everybody was like crazy about it, you know.
My whole thing too is like, if you bring back a species, how can you do that without upsetting the rest of
the
like
balance?
Yeah,
so that's the good question, because what they have right now is like I think 2,000 square miles of land that's covered, and they're released them into that habitat, and they're slowly introducing like carcasses and things like that so they can actually start doing the hunting thing and stuff like that. What's up Gravy?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like, for example, you know, they were releasing wolves in California.
Well, in Colorado.
Or somewhere.
Somewhere, yeah.
Wolves.
Colorado, yeah. And these wolves apparently,
I think in California too.
Maybe, but the reason they were releasing in Colorado because they had an issue with, I think it was the moose or something like that, right? Like the population was like destroying things. So they released the wolves, and the wolves end up like killing cows and stuff like that, right?
But they also
released it into
end
like
up
farmland.
Yeah, they also end up killing a bunch of dogs and cats.
Yeah,
and stuff
because
like
wolf doesn't know this is my territory to stay in that. They just travel hundreds of miles, right?
They also don't know. They also don't know their jobs. Like, oh yeah, you were sent out there to control this, but they're hungry.
And his thing was like, you know, the people that they talked to, it was basically like the entire state damn near by saying, oh, we're gonna release the wolves, and the entire state, yeah, go ahead. But they're like, they didn't really like the people that gotta get like. You know.
I saw this video of this guy, he got a fucking bobcat, like a wild bobcat, and it's like running around his shed, and he's like taking the video of the bobcat, and then he pans to his dog, and his dog's like this. And it's like, bro, the caption was like, the dog knows, but the owner doesn't. Like, yo, you should not have this shit in your house right now, bro. Yeah,
and they were saying that somebody, like, when he started talking about woolly mammoths, somebody, like, he goes, it didn't take much longer. Somebody came out and said, hey, do you think we can eat it? What it would taste like? Yeah. What? Like, this is what you're thinking about?
Can you look up what the woolly rats or mouse or whatever they was?
Yeah, mice. Woolly mice. And they're saying that woolly mammoth, the hair on a woolly mammoth, like, click on that. Yeah, that's actually the color of the coat of a mammoth. And the reason you see it black is because it's been sitting in dirt and mud, so that's why you see it black. But this is the actual color of it. So this is the actual genetic code for the hair on a woolly mammoth. And apparently these went like viral and everybody wants one, and they're saying like legalize woolly mice. He goes, they're not illegal, you know what I mean, to legalize them.
This reminds me of one of our coworkers.
So this guy is basically moving and shaking, and he said like, they're going after, that chupacabra dog
Mm-hmm.
that was in
Mexico and
Mexico,
shit like
but there's one in Australia.
that. Okay, yeah.
There's that one in Australia. They're thinking that they want to bring that one back. Like, and they discovered a whole like full skull that's like untouched in someone's basement in some museum that nobody even knew what it was. You know what I mean? So, and then he's talking about bringing back these guys, and then talking about bringing back these manatee-like
woolly rhinos. That's a fucking gangster ass animal.
Yeah, they're talking about bringing back these manatee-looking like animals that are like the size of a whale.
Mm-hmm.
That they're like herbivores. They're not. So they're talking about bringing those back. So they're talking about bringing a bunch of things back. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it'll will pan out. But that episode was really really interesting. If you don't like watching Rogan's episodes, that one I would highly suggest
Who
watching.
doesn't like
that,
watching?
Go back to the pictures. The paint, the drawing. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one they're talking about.
Of sea cows.
Yeah, so they're talking about bringing that one back. That's
just a
one
manatee,
back.
homie.
Well, they were saying that these manatees were actually super super big. You know what I mean? Like the
Okay.
size of a whale.
Have you ever seen a manatee in person?
Yeah.
Motherfuckers big.
Motherfuckers are fat too.
Yeah, they're big.
Yeah.
Slow. Stupid.
Fat. Yes.
They go right into the prop. Almost every.
I mean, I don't think they go right into prop. I think they
The
just can't
motherfucker-
get out of the way
I
fast
hate,
enough.
I feel like I hate when you're on the boat and stuff, and you're doing everything you can to like not hit any kind of animal, like dolphins and like that, and they get so close to the boat.
And these guys were actually around not long ago, and we just ended up hunting them all out. Because they're pretty slow and easy to hunt for the fat and the meat.
I know
and,
someone who was illegally speeding through a canal here in
Tasmanian tiger. Yeah, that's the one they're trying to bring back. Is Tasmanian tiger.
Look that up, maybe. What does that
Yeah.
look like? I know someone who's illegally speeding on a jet ski through a canal. And 2 people were on the jet ski, and this was a
One
fast jet
flying?
ski. It was like a 70, 80 mile an hour jet ski, right? Supercharged. And a fucking manatee just floats up right in front of them, bro. They went flying.
So they're trying to bring these guys back, which would be kind of cool. You know what I mean? Because it's more of a
That's
dog.
a bitch ass tiger.
Well, it's not a tiger. It's more of a dog. They just call it the tiger because of the coating and everything.
Big-ass
but it's
head,
not a
though.
cat. It's not a cat, right? It's a dog. More of a dog than a cat.
It's
Interesting.
more like a wolf almost.
Yeah, but see how big its
Not-
mouth
not a
opens?
wolf,
Look at the
but
size of the mouth
It's
opening.
got a big ass
Yeah,
head,
fox,
man.
Yeah. Can you pull up a saber-toothed tiger? So apparently there's several types of saber-toothed tigers. They're all like saber-toothed tigers. Like, see, the one we know is like those with the big fucking long teeth.
I mean, isn't that what makes it a saber-toothed tiger? Is the
Yeah,
big
but
teeth?
there's other saber-toothed tigers as well that don't have the teeth that long and they look a little bit different. What that one specifically? These are all, the way the guy was saying, these are all sketches. We don't really know what they look like, right?
Yeah,
we
these
kind
are-
of know
but
what the
these are-
size is,
but-
what they look like, the coat wise
but-
and everything. We don't.
You know, with being able to discover all the like fossils and stuff that they have a pretty good idea of what the animal did look like before. You know,
But
what I
not
mean?
the coating. That's what they're saying. What the coating would look like, they don't know because the DNA gets distorted through the years.
But isn't hair like one of the and only things that takes so long to like go away?
They're saying, the guy was saying, there's one bone that's in the head that's very dense and it keeps the DNA material really well. So they gotta, I don't know which species they were talking about, but they got to drill through and pull that bone out of the skull of a museum exposition, to pull that bone out and to do genetic testing on it to pull the genetic material off of it. So, but if you look up different species of saber-toothed tiger,
Yes, how much?
they pull up different species of saber-toothed tiger. Just different species, so it shows us different species. There are ones that are like look mean as hell. They look even meaner than this guy.
You ever watched the movie Ice Age?
Yeah, the Ice Age, yeah.
The movie, yeah, like the kids movie.
Yeah, so there's different kinds of saber. See the other saber-tooth tigers? They got smaller teeth. You know what I mean?
These are other animals, though.
Well,
Those look like
there's
some AI
several
sketches
species,
there.
I think, of saber-tooth tiger. Yeah.
Is this it? These are just a few different types.
Yeah, macrodontine, like that's the whole, like, see that one with,
Yeah, this
what's
looks like
the
it
one in
breaks
the
it
middle?
down,
What's
like
the
four
name of the
different-
middle one? Yeah, there you go. There you go. That
No, these are
homotherium. Pull that one up. Homotherium. Yeah, pull that one up.
What are these gay saber?
Yeah, like that one. Like you pull that picture right there, bro. Can you imagine like coming across this thing,
No, I can't because that will never happen.
bruh? Like you thought saber-tooth tiger was bad. Come across this one because this looks like more like a cheetah version of it. This motherfucker can run probably faster.
Yeah, it looks like
more
it can run.
ferocious. You know what I
I
mean?
don't know. I'm pulling my gun.
Yeah, like dude, and apparently, I don't know where it was. It was talking about how these antelopes, there are these specific types of antelopes that have 360-degree vision, and they're extremely fast, and nothing can really catch them. Even cheetah cannot catch them because they can see like 200 yards away.
I think it's crazy. Like, have you seen? I've seen videos of guys that go bow hunting, and I mean the bows. You know, it's not as fast as a bullet, but they move pretty fucking fast.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I saw one where the guy's bow hunting, and just from the noise of when the bow let go, right when he released, the fucking deer, like jolted, right? And you know when they jolt, they lower their center of gravity, so their legs spring up, and then they take off, right? And this motherfucker literally, when he lowered his center of gravity, perfectly ducked, and you can see it in the video. The arrow went right over his neck. That shit is crazy. Like their reflexes and like these guys when they go hunting, they can't make a noise. Like the smallest little noise. They're masking their scent with like deer pee and stuff like that.
Yeah, and they're like, I know I was watching into this. Like hunting is actually like it's an art. Like fishing, you kind of go out there and you fish, but hunting, like you can't use any deodorant. You can't use any soap that has any smell in it. Like you have to use special soap when you're showering and stuff.
There's
like,
a lot
your
behind it,
clothes
but I
cannot
think there's
smell.
different levels of it. And
Yeah,
just
there-
like fishing, right? Like, bro, those guys that go offshore is spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on those big ass rigs and stuff like that. You know, like you're talking 120, 150 miles out into the Gulf or whatever. And you know that's that high level of fishing, right? Looking for marlin and sailfish and stuff like that. Versus, you know what we do? We go to the pier and we do some bullshit.
Yeah.
The same thing with
like
hunting, right? Because there's guys that they get a shotgun, they go out to areas and they hunt some duck, and they don't spend a lot of money. And you know
the
what I mean?
duck,
So-
no, I would say boar. Like boars are basically like the catfish. You know what I mean? You
Yeah, but with duck,
'em
you get
pretty
to sit.
Yeah, yeah.
With
Boar, you
other-
also.
No, you have to look around. You have to go and walk around.
Well, they're
and stuff
saying
like
what
that.
they do. They trap him. Basically, they'll just put a bunch of food in that area for a week. and
Yeah,
the
but
boars
also
will
the thing
discover
is
that.
too is ducks don't attack.
Ducks don't attack. Boars do. Yeah.
Bro, I saw this one guy. He went to go let one go. I think it was like in a trap or something, and he was gonna let it go. And he gets the trap open, and the boar's like stunned, like they like trip out and he was just laying there, right? He gets the trap open, and he smacks the boar on its
On the
ass.
ass. Yeah, I seen that. Yeah.
Whop! And the boar gets up, bro, and starts
Like
chasing him around the tree.
Yeah,
He's
I seen
climbing
that.
on the tree and shit. That shit looks scary as fuck.
Yeah.
I would have shot that thing. Fuck that. He was risking it.
So there's a bunch of things that people do. Like I know in Australia, I think there's an area where monkeys are like running the place, so they're like allowed to hunt them. Like for us, for example, like you can go to Everglades and hunt as many iguanas and python and anacondas. Nobody gonna
Gators,
bat.
all that, yeah.
No one gonna bat an eye. You know what I mean? Because they're invasive species, right? They don't belong there. So I don't know, man. Like
You know what also is like a really bad invasive species? Look up black armored catfish. I don't know what the actual name is, but that's just what
I
they
know
call
what
them.
you're talking about.
They're called like placos or something like that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Just look up like armored catfish, literally. Black armored catfish. Yeah. These shits.
Yeah, these shits, and then also the peacock bass is another one.
Yeah, peacock bass are
This is another
invasive,
one.
but that's like a invasive predatory species,
Yeah.
right? Which is even worse. Usually.
Lionfish is another one.
Yeah.
Lionfish.
But
is
these
another.
guys, I've snagged a couple of them. Like literally just snagged them in their back, and bro,
Jump
they're
back
the
in?
armor. Yeah, I throw them back in. I shouldn't. I
Yeah.
should be killing them. Like literally,
Yeah,
I
don't throw
actually.
them
That's
back
what
in.
I should be doing. Is actually killing them and throwing them away.
I saw someone made shoes out of these motherfuckers.
Oh really,
Yeah.
bro? That's what I was gonna say. The hook, like when it goes in them, it's buried in that armor, and that shit is like hard as a rock.
Yeah.
The like armor that they have. But yeah,
This
peacock bass.
peacock bass, bro. They're
I heard there's one lake in this area that's like a private lake in an apartment that apparently has peacock bass.
sneak in.
Yeah, they grow big too. But you know where I want to catch? The one I want to catch that is fucking one of the most beautiful bass I've seen. Look up blue Brazilian peacock bass. Brazilians love fishing, by the way.
Yeah,
I don't know if
yeah,
you
they
knew
do.
this, but they're like they have a really big culture around fishing. So there's these in Brazil. They have these ones that are blue. They look the same basically. Let's see, we can get a good picture. Kind of like that, yeah. They're peacock bass still. They're the same
Look
thing.
at the size of that motherfucker.
Yeah, that's a
man.
normal
That's
one though.
Normal one.
Well, I'm saying like normal colored. There's
Oh.
blue ones like.
But these are fucking.
Yeah,
big,
kind of.
bro.
You see how that kind of goes towards like a blue? There's some that are even a lighter colored blue.
Dude, anyway, so that'll be interesting to catch these guys, right? But look at the size of those motherfuckers.
Yeah,
bro.
they're huge.
That thing looks like a mangrove snapper.
Yeah, right? But anyway, so yeah. Let's
Yeah,
get back-
one of those, bro. That's what I'm talking about. That color, you see how it has that light blue color on the.
So
on
let's
the,
get
on the
back to
dorsals
our
and stuff.
fast food thing. What would you eat as a like? What would you consider fast food? Would you consider tacos fast food?
I consider fast food is something that has a drive-through, usually. Like, and then there's some exceptions. Five Guys, fast food doesn't usually have a drive-through, right? That's still fast food. Chipotle doesn't really have a drive-through fast food, right? Things that are pre-made.
Well, tacos you don't think would be considered fast food?
No, because like for example, where we go for lunch, it's a restaurant. You know what I mean? They make the tacos fresh, so like that's not fast food. We have to
No,
wait.
but then you go to like the one on 30th and 66. They don't make those tacos. They just put them out of the.
No,
fucking
that's
lunch.
that's just like pre-made meat that they
Yeah.
have, and the same thing at the restaurant we go to. The meat is like pre-made sometimes, depending on which one you get.
I mean, what's his name? Taco Bell has.
Yeah, but see exactly, I wouldn't consider that to be fast food.
No.
Like Casita Taqueria, I wouldn't consider to be fast food. No.
I don't know if this is true or not. Somewhere I read that Mexican food, which I'm gonna give it to you, Mexican food is considered the one of the foods that will give you the most happiness when you eat it.
It's so flavorful.
Nah, but I don't agree that it's flavorful.
Really?
I think Asian food is more flavorful than Mexican food.
Asian food is more aromatic. Like when you're talking about like
Yeah, it is. But remember, Asian food also has the sweet portion of it, and the sour, and the.
so does
and
Mexican food a bit. But look, like I think Mexican food is like very the flavor is very punchy.
You think so?
Yeah, versus like Japanese, like Asian food, each flavor is mellow enough to you can taste it, but not to overpower anything else.
I don't know, man. Like, 'cause to me, Thai food, for example, or like Vietnamese food,
Mm-hmm.
some of the Chinese food as well. Because they combine the sweet, spicy, sour, salty, all of those flavors all in one place. Where Mexican doesn't really have. The
Yeah, but I always
sweetness
find
to
that
it.
Asian food sometimes they get all those flavors, but then they lack to put enough of it in it. And it's
Yeah.
sometimes pretty bland.
That's when you add the spice.
Yeah, anything you can add
But
spice
I don't
to.
know. Okay, so which fast food would you consider the cleanest fast food?
The cleanest, there's no answer to that. Cause
I'd say Chipotle is pretty clean.
yeah,
Chipotle's
I'll
pretty
go
clean.
Chipotle on that. Yeah,
Chipotle is pretty clean.
yeah. We're about to have some.
Can you pull up the cleanest fast food? Like what's considered like the most organic, cleanest fast food?
This is a rare fish to find. Rooster fish.
Rooster fish, yeah. Cleanest fast food. Yeah, what does it come up with?
These are just pictures.
No, pull up that chart. What is that chart? Let's see the chart.
Chipotle. Look at that. Number 1 there.
Panera Bread, I would not consider clean fast food. Every time I eat Panera Bread, I get a fucking worst heartburn of my life.
But I think it means like clean environment, maybe.
Yeah, go back and pull.
Well, this is healthiest. No, we want like cleanest environment. You know.
Yeah, pull those pictures. There was a chart, A B C D. Yeah, the ABCD chart. Yeah, what is it going to give us?
Chipotle and Panera at the top. B is Subway. I don't agree with that. Chick-fil-A, and then Taco Bell and KFC. Taco Bell is at a B. Damn.
No
McDonald's
way. No
is
fucking
C
way. No
with
fucking
Wendy's.
way.
Then D
They
is
paid
Pizza
for this
Hut.
chart, bro. There's no way.
Yo, Starbucks is graded lower than McDonald's, Taco Bell.
Yeah, this is
and
a horseshit
fucking
lie chart.
KFC?
Yeah, no, this is a lie chart, bro. It's 100% lie.
Then you
There's
got
no fucking
F
way.
is like DQ, Sonic, Applebee's, Arby's.
Bro, they
IHOP.
consider
these aren't-
Buffalo Wild Wings and Cracker
These
Barrel
aren't
as
really
fast food. Yeah,
Oh,
like
fast casual restaurant chains as well. They considered.
fast casual chain restaurant.
You know what's not even on here? Probably because it's graded so shit. Checkers. That's some dirty shit right there.
The Checkers curly fries, bro, my favorite. Oh,
They're not curly. They're just the seasoned ones. You mean?
Checkers has the curly fries.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't. They have
Pull
the
Checkers fries. Who has the
Checkers-
curly fries then? Somebody got the curly fries.
Checkers fries aren't curly.
Hooters.
Yeah, Hooters got curly fries.
Hooters does have curly fries, I agree. Yeah, see, it's curly fries.
No, look, all their fries are normal.
But
Arby's.
somebody got
DC,
the curly
like-
fries.
Yeah, those aren't.
But
from
still, their
Checkers.
fries are pretty fucking
Yeah, they're
dank.
seasoned well. But the only thing is, Checkers, when they double fry them or even triple fry them, they're horrible.
Yeah.
They're horrible. Yeah, because they do this thing where they don't like when the fries get old. They don't necessarily fry a new batch of fries. They add some new ones, and then they take the old ones and refry it all together, and so the fries end up getting completely double fried, and you end
Yeah.
up with this like extremely crunchy, almost stale like.
Yeah, and then there's
crisp on the
nothing
outside.
inside because it burns the inside. If you ever cook the fries too long, it's gonna burn inside as shit. Yeah, I've done some of those before. Yeah. Okay, so Chipotle, you would say Chipotle is the cleanest one. You know
I
what
think
I would
so.
say cleanest one? Maybe like Whole Foods kitchen section. You know how like Whole Foods usually have
That's
that
not
section.
fast food, bro.
It is because you just put it in the fucking thing and go.
No, that's not fast food, homie. Come on.
It does take time. You gotta go inside, put it
You're
in,
making it
get out.
yourself. Come on.
Yeah. I mean,
Uh,
do you really make it yourself? though?
Bojangles. Have you had Bojangles? You think about this?
Can you pull up Bojangles real quick?
Bojangles is a chicken place.
Yeah, it's a
Fire.
chicken place.
Fire. I mean, so I went when we were in North Carolina because my buddy had been telling me about it, and it's
For
actual
whatever
like
reason,
chicken on a bone. Like
I
you know,
would want to
drum
say I
wings
did
and
have
thighs.
this. For whatever reason, I
Good,
want to.
like well seasoned,
Mm.
crunchy, crunchier than a motherfucker, and they
Mhm.
freshly fried it when we got it.
Yeah, I want to say there is a really good chicken place, like fried chicken place. It's a Nashville chicken place, Clock Chicken, I think it's called, and that's in downtown St. Pete, and it's pretty good.
I've been coming around to having good fried chicken.
Bro,
I used to
good
not like it
fried
that
chicken,
much,
bro.
but I like it now, man. After that Bojangles
And
and like
you were
we went to
you
DR. When we were in DR, they have what's called pica pollo, which is
Mhm.
just fried chicken and plantains, and they like actually batter it a little bit.
yeah,
It's just so good.
bro, and you were a psychopath if you eat your fried chicken without the coating on it, because some people will eat their fried chicken just as is and without the coating, just seasoned on the skin, and they just deep fry that shit. You're
What do you mean, like naked wings? That's fine.
yeah,
I like naked wings.
nah, bro.
What do
Naked
you mean?
wings
The
are-
wings we have at Dead Bob's are naked.
Yeah, I know they're good, but like the coated wings.
Nah.
Yes.
So it depends on my mood. Like most of the time, I actually prefer naked. Like if you're talking about wings, I want naked.
Yeah,
Yeah, personally.
my favorite.
I like the way that the skin and the actual meat on the bone when it gets like a little crispy from the
Yeah.
over fry. I like that versus it just being extra crispy from the batter. You know what I mean?
My favorite wings. Hooters wings. You have to get the mild sauce because mild sauce is basically just butter sauce, and you get the hot sauce or whatever sauce on the side that you want. You put the mild sauce on top of that butter sauce on top, and it soaks into that bread, bro. It's one of the best things ever. But it is like,
yeah, Bojangles is fire.
Bojangles. I want to say I've had this. One of the best chickens I've had was the Nashville hot chicken, and that was in Tennessee, Nashville. That one was badass.
Isn't Nashville known for hot chicken?
Yeah, hot chicken. They're known for that. Yeah, yeah. like a fast food Nashville hot chicken, man.
See,
that
I've
thing is
learned to
just
like
another
spicy
level.
food, but sometimes I get it and then I'm like, fuck, this is too hot.
Yeah,
It just depends on the place, really, I guess.
It's-
I've learned though that most American places, I can get away with it.
and here's the thing. I have this crazy thing where if you put the regular hot sauce like buffalo sauce, that's too vinegary for me. I don't like it. It almost like takes away from the flavor of the actual chicken in a batter. You know, then you're just tasting that fucking vinegar. So I usually don't like buffalo sauce. Like buffalo
Rodolfo
sauce.
loves that shit.
Yeah, buffalo sauce is one of my least favorite sauces.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of buffalo sauce. Yeah.
Yeah, buffalo. And if I get a sauce, I usually try to get like barbecue.
I
or
like
some
it, but
sort
when
of
there's a lot of it, I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah, no, I don't know. But yeah, the fast food, I try to stay away from it. I even consider
Damn,
burgers as
fucking
fast food.
wings. Depends on where. Like I consider Five Guys to be a fast food place.
Well, here's the thing. I never, like, you know, there's a big burger culture. People love to eat burgers, right? I never got around, like, for example, our friend Mauricio. He loves burgers, bro. If you take him any restaurant, he doesn't know what to order. He orders a burger and he enjoys the shit out of the burger, right? For me, burger was never really a thing.
To me, the burger.
Or like spaghetti pasta with bolognese sauce, like the meat sauce, is not a thing. People love that shit, and I'm like,
Yeah, I think it's just your personal taste. Like,
yeah, it is. That's
to me, I don't get burgers when I go to places most of the time because I always like have the expectation of how I can make a burger, and I know I can make a burger very well. Like I actually put a lot of thought into how I make my burgers and everything,
yeah.
and I just don't enjoy it anytime I go somewhere else because I have that high standard of how I like it and how I like to make it.
There's a one square that had pretty good burgers, which were the say I've eaten there. And then there's one downtown St.
That
Petersburg
place
that's
that
considered
your
really-
brother's friend, I'm not sure if he's your friend
Yeah,
as
that
well.
one is pretty good.
That's something bistro.
Yeah, yeah.
Or it's
He
not called
doesn't
that
have it-
anymore, but it's
yeah,
another. He has
doesn't have
another
it anymore.
place.
He had pretty decent burgers, but I think that had
Fucking
to do
egg
with
on
the
that bitch.
yeah,
Oof.
with the bun and everything. I think the all the shit that you like, for example, burgers that you put like a barbecue Korean barbecue grilled bacon on top with the egg, like those will make the burger for me taste better because like it's adding all.
See, no, I like a basic burger. Like when I make my own, it's gonna be getting the grilled the meat,
Yeah.
what is it called again?
the ground beef.
Ground beef. There you go. I take an egg yolk, right, just the yolk, and then I season my meat and mix it all together very well. Get my patties, 500 degrees on the grill. Get that bitch up to 500. 5 minutes on each side, right? And that's just how, because I've learned how flat and how thick I make them and everything. And then mayonnaise, ketchup, and tomatoes on a bun, bro. Simple as that. And I
So
love
here's
that
the
shit.
thing: a lot of people
And
like
some
their
cheese. And some cheese.
like their pickles in there. They
I don't like
their
pickles.
their onions. They like their lettuce.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I don't like that shit either. I like my burgers only with tomato.
Tomato, I love.
Give me all that shit on the side. I'll figure out what to do with it. But just tomato, a little bit of ketchup, a little bit of mayo. They can skip that. I don't. But definitely cheese. Without the cheese, it doesn't work for me. Like just a hamburger is not it. I like the cheeseburger.
Yeah, I can do a hamburger, but
Yeah, and I've had all of them, man. Like
there's been plenty of times that like
smash burger, for example. I don't
No,
know what's the thing with
yeah.
a smash burger. Like I don't.
smash
it's not a
burgers.
thing. Or
not a
chopped
big thing.
cheese.
Yeah.
Any of those things.
I mean,
man, yeah.
I'll enjoy it and eat it, and I think it's good. But is it like, to me, is it the best way to enjoy a burger? Hell no.
Yeah.
Hell no. I want a fucking thick, juicy patty.
Or like they'll do the Deckers. And another thing is I don't like when I'm eating
You
my
ever had
burger.
White Castle?
No, I've never had
White Castle? No, that shit is so trash.
Yeah.
It is just like the
I'm
only
glad I
thing
never had
open
it.
at 4 a.m. These shitty ass sliders.
Yeah.
They're just these small sliders with the patty like this thick. Like the McDonald's patty has like super thin. It's fucking half the thin of that. It's
I don't know.
just,
Fuck that.
and they're this big. They're like little sliders.
You know what's another fast food place that's complete shit? We have, I think, one or two in the town. At least in Tampa, there's one or two. It's the seafood place where they have
I
shrimp.
knew you were gonna say that. Yeah, what's that? What seafood fast food place? What is that called again?
Long John Silver. No,
Yes,
there's another one.
Yes,
There's another
yes.
one.
Long John Silver's is
There's
one.
another. Yeah, there's another one. Salem. Yeah, that one.
Oh no, Salem's is fire. You just haven't had the right thing.
Maybe.
But Salem's has not just seafood. Salem's has everything.
Yeah, because I've gotten the shrimp there and the wings, and they're like trash.
No,
man.
I had a gyro one time from there. Fire.
Yeah. Euro is that's an
Gyro?
art.
Sorry.
Yeah, whatever. It's an art. You like to make
I'm
that one is an art. Yeah.
European.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I went with somebody there and they got it, and I was like, I don't know what else to get. I'll get it too.
Yeah.
And I mean, meat, bread, and some sauce. How can you go wrong?
Tzatziki sauce, yeah.
Yeah, how can you
It's
go
pretty
wrong?
good, yeah. Like when the Greeks make it, it's really. But see, the problem with me is like every time I eat any of those pitas or any of that shit, it gives me really like upset stomach. Like not
Fucking old
like I'm
man.
shitting my guts out, but like
You're
because of
bread
that-
intolerant.
huh?
You're bread intolerant.
No, so what has happened, and people have been pointing this out. There's no like actual research saying that's what it is. Have you noticed this? How a lot of people lately been saying, "Oh, I'm gluten sensitive," or I have celiac or whatever, and what they're saying is because they've genetically modified the wheat to have more gluten. Because there's more gluten in it, the bugs and shit don't attack it as much. Even bugs are saying this is fucking poison. I don't want to eat it. So because that happens, we get more crops. But our bodies also cannot digest that high content of gluten. And basically gluten, what it is, it's that rubbery, that gooey, delicious flavor of when you break fresh bread and you chew it, that chewy flavor. That's what gluten makes that, right? When you put too much of it in
That's
there.
why when you have gluten free stuff, it doesn't have the right texture.
Correct. Yes. So when you increase the amount of gluten, our body doesn't know how to deal with it. This is why people are like, I'm gluten sensitive. Well, they're not really gluten sensitive. They're extra gluten sensitive. You know what I mean? That's the problem. Because in Europe, I have no issues eating bread. I don't ever have any issues eating bread in Europe. Ever. You eat the bread, you don't feel like all bloated and heavy. You just eat it and go. And talking about France, with this Euro trip we're gonna go, you'll see, man. People in the morning will be walking around with a baguette. They'll buy 2 or 3 baguettes, and then as they're walking, they'll be eating one of the baguettes on the way to their home. Like that's tradition. That's the culture. All they do is eat fucking baguettes and cheese. You know what I mean?
Those are my people, man. I fucking love it.
Yeah, bro. Like Mickey, if you want, early morning, I'll wake up with you. We walk to the baguette store and get baguettes and split a whole baguette in half. You know what I mean?
Y'all bring me one.
Huh?
Fuck that. You coming with us?
Yeah. Shit. What do you think this is? King of the Castle. King of the Castle. You coming with us on the excursion,
Nah,
bro?
My peasants will bring me back the bread.
No peasantry here. We'll bring him the crumbs in a bag.
Yeah,
You're like, this is what you get.
Just throw them over my bed while I'm
Yeah.
laying there to wake me up.
Crumbs of
Clean
cheese and
this up,
crumbs of
bitch.
baguette. You know what I mean? But yeah, like
Miss out on the coffee.
Bro, we're talking about all this food and I'm so fucking hungry right now. You have no
Yeah, eat a
idea.
cow leg.
Lucky
Yeah,
for you,
bro.
We're about to be at an hour, so we could end it.
Yeah.
Well, let's at least hit an hour. But damn. But I don't know, man.
I
Fast
think
food
we
is,
did hit an hour.
No, not yet.
for the longest time, Burger King was my choice of fast food because I always thought
It's a
that the
good burger.
burgers are better than any McDonald's or anything. But then
Yeah, I agree.
Five Guys came around, and I think
Definitely
Five Guys
can
makes
be
much better.
Yeah. Five Guys is definitely a better burger, but the convenience isn't there. You don't have the drive-through. It's not as it's cheaper. At Burger
I was
King.
about to say, bro, like a decent burger in Five Guys would
It's
run you
expensive.
$15-$16,
Yeah.
bro.
You can get the whole meal
it
at Burger
is
King
Five
for that
Guys,
price.
not one.
Yeah.
Hey. But when you ask for a small fry, you're getting what you would get in double of a large
Yeah,
fry.
them motherfuckers into the bag. You know?
Yeah.
They load it up.
It's all fuck the cup that they put inside. It's
Yeah.
all based on the bag size that they
Yeah,
grab.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
how much fries you're
And their
getting.
fries are pretty well seasoned, especially if you get
Pretty
the Cajun
well.
one.
They're the Cajun ones are one of the best fast food fries out there.
Yeah.
And they're fried fresh.
Nah, I still put Checkers fries.
Hell no.
I still put
Hell
Checkers
no.
fries.
If you get Five Guys fries fried the right way, of course, a lot of times lately I've been getting them soggy. They come fucking bendy and shit. They're not actually crunchy.
nah.
But if you back when I used to get them like in middle school, they used to have that Five Guys. I think they still do in the Park Place thing. Bro, them fries were fire.
So talking about soggy fries, right? It hasn't hit United States yet, but in Asia, people were not getting fries. And then what happened? They figured out because in Asia, fast food delivery is considered very popular, and a lot of scooters. People do that with scooters and deliver the food. On average, it takes 45 to 1 hour to deliver the food. The minute it's been cooked and gets to the customer, it takes about 45 to an hour. So they set out to solve the problem. How do you cure the problem of soggy or not delicious fries, right? And then the scientists basically went out, tried to figure out how to do this, and they figured like the coating that they put on top of fries to keep it fresh is starch, but that starch coating only lasts about 15 to 20 minutes. So they were able to modify the coating to get it to last about an hour 20 minutes. Take that old fries, pop it in a microwave, pull it out of the microwave, and it tastes exactly like it's been freshly cooked in oil.
Oh, our shit is about to be coated in that shit everywhere.
It hasn't hit United States
It will.
yet,
And hard.
but the minute it does, bro, can you imagine like you get fries and then you kept it in a fridge the next day, and then you're still able
You
to
saw
eat the
Vitalis
fries?
in prison getting years
Vitali for what?
in South Korea, if I'm not mistaken.
Vitali?
One of these Asian countries, yeah, Vitali.
What the fuck did he
You
do?
know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
The YouTuber,
the Russian
the
YouTuber.
pedo stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
Philippines.
because he
Philippines.
got canceled. Oh, in Philippines, he got canceled. And
He's sentenced to like 2 years, I think.
And there was Kim for what?
And they apparently he was like supposed to get extradited. And
Harassment,
they didn't.
theft during live streams.
Yeah.
What an idiot, bro.
Oh yeah, I saw the video. He stole like a security guard's hat and like ran off in the middle of a mall, like
Bro.
yeah, doing dumb shit.
He's basically just going to be deported, I think.
No, I saw
He's
that they.
getting the, yeah, he's getting
I saw something that they said that they were not gonna allow him to leave and they were gonna force him to serve his time in the Philippines. Yeah, that's what I saw. The last thing I saw about it.
Damn, what an idiot. For bullshitting Metro Manila.
Yo, they don't fuck around over there. They'll cut your head off.
Yeah, no, dude. Like some of these countries, like you know, when you landing in some of the South Asian countries, they'll give you a list of things you cannot do. Some of them you're not allowed to spit, like on the street. You're not allowed to trash. Like literally, it's almost like death. Like chop off your head for doing that shit, right? Like you get prison time. Some of the drugs, even like weed and things like that, are like punishable by like 20, 30 years
Yeah, it's crazy.
of being in jail. Like huge.
But then you have Thailand where it's legal. It's weird.
Thailand is legal?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Thailand weed is legal.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's
Thai
different.
steak is like one of the Thai steak is like one of the most like renowned things like they have over there.
What's a Thai stick? Can you
Look
pull
it up, Miggy. It's basically a long ass stick of dried up weed.
Oh, okay. And this is popular in Thailand?
Yeah.
That right there?
Mm-hmm.
Looks like some shit they'd be fucking cooking on a grill.
Yeah, it's actually like basically a.
So how the fuck do you smoke
It's basically a weed cigar, is what it is.
So what do you just pull out the steak out and then you just light
that's
it?
The airflow and it's like super dense. Yeah. It's
Do you
essentially
smoke the thread as well?
no. You see the one he's smoking on the right has the thread taken off.
Okay. But is this good stuff or is it just like whatever?
I don't know.
Huh. But they cannot like they're probably like taking a whole plant and just rolling it in there.
Well, I think what it
With all
is
the
is
seeds and shit.
I think is a mixture of them trying to like capitalize on multiple things. Ready? So you densing the weed up like that is gonna make it burn longer. Also, you're making a bunch of weed into a small amount, but in the sense where you have more because they have such low quality shit there that you want to smoke as much as possible basically at once.
They're probably putting the leaves in there because my understanding
No,
is
they don't
like,
put the leaves inside.
No,
they
they
just
don't?
wrap it. They wrap it in the leaves. They wrap it.
so
in
they
the
put
leaves.
that like flower part inside, I'm
Uh-huh.
guessing. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, it's very very famous.
Damn
over
thing
there.
look like a what's that plant that
But yeah, I'm
grows by
pretty
the
sure
lakes?
it's legal.
You know, there's
Is,
like
look that up, Mickey. Is weed legal in Thailand? I'm pretty sure it is.
yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, looks like
What
dope
is-
do's and don'ts. What is the do's and
go
what
to
are the don'ts?
Okay.
So you can own and grow cannabis plants without limitation. You can distribute cannabis plants, smoke cannabis. You cannot own and distribute cannabis extract containing more than 0.2 THC without permission or a medical prescription, or import cannabis oil from outside the kingdom illegal. Smoke cannabis in public areas leading to a public disturbance. This counts as a Public Health Act violation subject to a $25,000 bot fine and or 3 months of jail time.
Okay, so it's .02 you said? Now,
That's for the extracts.
now enlighten me. What is that like?
That just means that for extracts you can.
Now is that a lot? Is that a little?
That's very little. That's like hemp.
What is-
Hemp,
What's the extract?
like the wax and oils and stuff like that, are considered extracts.
But then you can smoke the potent weed, no problem.
Basically.
Makes no fucking sense.
Yeah,
to
it
me.
didn't make any sense to me either.
That makes no damn fucking sense.
All right, I think we'll wrap it up there, boys.
Yep.
And thank you guys for joining us today. We were not gonna have an episode on this week Thursday. We'll be back though next week on Tuesday. So make sure to tune in, guys.
Yes.
Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and we will catch you guys next week.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.